a dance party. Who doesn't need in this world right now a 1:30 or whatever time it is in your world dance party?
All right, let's stop that. Hi, everyone.
I could have really got into that.
Well, next time I'll have disco balls and things. I'll figure it out.
I
I'll be a better
mean, I
producer.
just saw a disco vagina on Instagram last.
Seems like that.
That seems like maybe we should wait to Stacey after dark before we go there.
Is that a Madonna account? It sounds like a Madonna account.
I don't know where it came from, but I was like, oh, this is fascinating, and this is an interesting algorithm for me.
And yet, is it?
Right, it's spot on.
You're always talking about.
Oh, all sorts of things. Lady
Yes.
parts. I was laying in bed last night. Not that we were planning to talk about this at all, but I was laying in bed last night. I was like, oh, I should write some more sex posts. So there you go. Maybe that's why all the sparkly
It
disco.
listens into your mind. That's the creepy part.
That is the creepy part. Have you had that happen? I
Oh,
definitely.
100%. Yes. You think about something and then suddenly it's on your phone.
Exactly.
Hey, everyone. Welcome.
Welcome.
This is, we don't know what this is.
Yeah, I'm calling it not a podcast.
This is a live stream that's not going to, we don't know what it's going to do.
We don't
or
know.
where it's going to go, but we hope you come with us.
Yes.
I'm Richard Wilmore.
Stacey Andon.
There you go. And I feel like Stacey and I have known each other for what, like a decade now?
It has to be. When did you live in Maryland?
2015.
Yeah, so we're
a
going
decade.
on the magical 11.
There you go. And I don't know what that means, but Stacey's going to tell us. And so we've known each other for a long time, but I feel like since we've done something like this together, we probably have a lot of new faces in our separate worlds. So should
We
we?
probably do.
So who are you, Stacey? What are you doing on my timeline?
Why do you keep tagging me on these
Every
Facebook
day.
posts?
Because Richard's not good at doing it himself, so Stacey has
Exactly.
taken it upon herself
like-
to help me.
I will be the stalker, tagger, you name it. Okay, so who am I? Oh my gosh, I was just having a conversation with a mutual friend of ours, Nona Jordan, and we were talking about how multifaceted we all are as humans, and how, again, the business world and whatever world we're all living in wants to kind of narrow us down into these shiny little one-liners, and we're not having it. I know you're not having it either. And so I'm a storyteller, mystic, intuitive. I like to coach, I like to write, I like to speak. I've decided, and tell me what you think about this, Rich, because we haven't talked about this. I've said for years that I'm a change agent through whatever work and service of the planet. It's to help, right? The whole ripple effect of this world. I've been thinking a little bit that has just shifted. I don't want to say change, shifted a little bit to world building. Like, there's something bigger going on, and I don't know if you've been feeling it too, that feels like the creators and the art. Anybody living, if you're living and moving around on this planet, you're a creator and an artist, because what you put on your body every day is art. Well, what colors you choose, what car you get into, whatever it is you're doing is all your own beautiful expression of who you want to be in a particular moment.
So that's Stacey.
There you go. I do a little meditation also
Right.
as well. And I don't like to be pinned down by one thing, but ultimately I'm all about the truth, the soul truth, not, and I think that love is, and not in the cheesy, oh, love is the way, messy love that doesn't know all the answers, that can break you open and you think you're not going to make it, and then you see a flower in the, on the course of your walk, and then you remember how beautiful life is, kind of love.
Every time I go on a walk and it starts raining, I have to think of you because I get mad right away. And at one point, a long time ago, I was telling Stacey, and she was like, no, you're supposed to love walking in the rain. It's cleansing. And so now when it, not downpouring, but when it's like sprinkling, I'm like, no, I love this. And like, I don't run inside anymore because of you. So for those of you who are like, what's she talking about? She does what, huh? Um, I'm going to break it down into what I like. Stacey is an amazing business coach and a life coach.
Mhm.
And sometimes those are all wrapped in one if you're me and I take her for everything. Um, so, but in, she does those things in her Stacey way, which is super important that you're not going to get the run of the mill, what you think you're signing up for when you do either of those two things or both of those things with her. You're going to open up a whole portal
Oh yeah.
of magic.
It's like for anybody who is age appropriate to the Matrix, you're gonna take a red pill. We're gonna take a red pill together
Mhm.
and
But that red
see
pill
what
is dipped
happens.
in glitter, edible glitter.
Edible glitter. It's like put a little Alice in Wonderland spin on
Mhm.
that too,
Yeah.
and there you go. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've talked a lot about me already. Let us
Oh.
introduce my again. Let's see what you. I want to hear what you say
Is
about
there
who
a
you are.
oh, oh
Because
so
I'm
what's
going to
that?
say something too, but I am going to wait
Done.
till after you've,
Talked.
yeah, you've talked because I know you're so good at giving all the greatness to all of us. And so I want to hear about all your greatness out of your own mouth.
You know, I loved what you said about yourself being a world builder, which like explodes like a community builder out of the water. And I feel like no matter what I've done, I've had fashion trucks, I have run nonprofits, I've done arts and health, I have been a game show host, a podcast host, a producer. What else have I done? I've
You're an MC, you do
oh
MC,
yeah,
you
yeah.
get
I
keynote speaker.
I ran a clothing, like I've done all of these things, and all of them have been around bringing people together and connecting people. I was just interviewed on a podcast, and I told him that I got what I thought was the dream job by having someone on my podcast that turned into this full time, this whole world, you know. And he was
Yeah.
like, and then I did it for almost a decade, and he was like, from a podcast episode, and I was like, yeah, like, and none of that was planned, you know, it just like happened, and we were talking about the power of podcasting.
And
But
visibility, right? There's a
yes,
visibility.
yeah,
And I don't know about you, but I feel like the last couple of years has kind of shook us all pretty intensely.
hmm
And as we kind of came into 2026, things were still not quite settled. There was still a little bit of a tail of whatever that was. However, the longer and the further, like we're almost now in the midway point, there's a momentum, there's an energy, and there's a visibility. And I was just on a call like an hour ago and had the same conversation was happening about how one thing that seems random or chance or what have you turns into something.
yeah,
And I think we try to micromanage, right? We're all trying to micromanage our businesses, our art, our creative, all of it. And when we let go a little bit more and let ourselves kind of follow all the little paths and all the little detours and everything else, we run into these, right? We make ourselves available to these moments.
yeah. Yes. And so that's what kind of what you and I are going to be doing once a month, jumping
Yeah.
on here on some random day
Yep.
and chatting about what it's like to be creative, what it's like to be in business, how those things work together. And what you said something that I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes." And now I don't remember because I'm in my 40s and things fly away. I need notes. I have no idea what you said, but I was like, yes, I want to run off of that. So that's what we're gonna do.
We're
So
going to trust it's already embedded in your system and you don't have to worry about remembering.
yeah,
That's
okay,
what
good,
I tell myself every day.
good. And if we're doing this live, we're not gonna record these. We're gonna do them live because we think that's fun. And so there's comments. Use the comments if you have
Yeah,
questions, if you have whatever, as long as they're nice, and interact with us. Because
totally.
don't make me cry. I'm a very emotional person, and I
Oh,
will cry.
okay. Well,
So
before we go any further,
yeah.
because I know I want to hang out just for another second, and I want to say that first of all, I wouldn't have a podcast today if it wasn't for you. And I want to spend a future time talking about how I flopped around many a time before we actually did the thing together. And I know it would never have happened without you. I know it wouldn't have. And you have put me also as like I've hired you to put me out there in terms of expanding my visibility as a podcast guest. I did not think I wanted to do that. And then you were, this is part of what you offer the world. And I was like, all right, let me try this out. It has been phenomenal. So if you're somebody who's like, oh, I want to start having more conversations, I want to be in interesting places, Rich is the person to get out there because you might say, people say, oh, I can't be on a podcast. Everybody can be on a podcast,
And you
right?
get a podcast, and you get a
You.
podcast. And
That's why this is not a podcast.
yeah, we have,
Gosh, we have sound effects? I didn't know that.
yeah, that was also me distracting. So the next 20 minutes is this. These are just going to be Stacey and I gushing over each other every month. So
Well, we have to.
buckle
This
up.
is the get to know you episode, so there
Yes.
has to be gushing. And I think too. And I was reading this recently too, somewhere along the way in my week's journey, that we don't like brag is the wrong word, like, but we don't really emphasize and go out there and say, hey, I'm really amazing at this and
No.
this is what I'm doing, this is my jam, right? We've all in some way, I feel like, and depending on our own personal filters, we kind of sink that down into a smaller size. And this energy this year, me and you, whatever else we're doing, is about expanding out. So taking all that space. So if you're listening to this, like, yeah, go shout how amazing you are to whomever, to a future business thing, to a friend, to all of I mean, I talk to the dog too. So the dog.
Usually my dog's under the desk, so she hears a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
But I always use the word brag. Like people don't,
Yeah.
and I'm guilty of this too, where we don't want to brag about ourselves because then it feels like we're cocky. And it's so important to celebrate yourself. And when you're
Yes.
working so hard, which is
Yes.
why I've always started my shows, is because people are working so hard on whatever it is, and then what? And then
And
you have
then
nowhere to
what?
talk about it. You have nowhere to brag about yourself. And you
Yeah.
should be bragging about yourself.
Yep.
And that's why we're here.
Yeah. So if you're watching live or maybe you're watching later, we want to know, what would you say? Put a little self-brag, self-celebration. We want to hear all the things.
Yes, please. What are you celebrating? What are you
Yeah.
celebrating today,
Ooh.
Stacey?
Well, number one, I've been celebrating this for 3 days. My dog, as you know, has been very sick for like 2 months. He is now driving me crazy. Which is a good thing. I'm celebrating that.
Yeah.
He's trying to eat everything in the yard again. He doesn't want to listen. I'm like, oh, he's back to feeling better because he's actually back to his old honorary self. And so I am so celebrating that. I am also celebrating, I don't know what's happening, but we are having the best weather on the planet, and you cannot be in a bad mood if you live anywhere right now on the East Coast, I think, and go outside.
Oh, that's also an important thing. So, yes, Stacey's in Maryland. For those of you who are meeting Stacey for the first time, I'm in South Carolina. We lived 15 minutes apart back in the day for a couple years.
in the day.
I only lived there for 2 years. 2 years. And the
Like a magical portal that we created in 2 years.
I know. And the amount of people that I still stay in touch with from Maryland. I don't know if I stay in touch with that many people from Wisconsin, and I lived there for 30 years. So I don't know what happened there, but it was fun.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we going to talk about on these things?
What are we gonna? I want to talk about things that people aren't talking about. Like I want to talk about, particularly when you're frustrated and you've flopped, or you think you can't do it, or you think, who am I to do it? And like, it never gets old to me to really listen and hear other people and talk about those things, because we're always having a moment. You can be up and think, oh my gosh, I just got this client, or I got this business, or I created this thing. And then 3 minutes later, you can feel like your world fell apart. So I just love this idea of us talking about kind of the intersection of wherever creativity and entrepreneurship kind of come together in real ways and authentic ways. What about you? What do you think this is about?
Yes. This is really just our brainstorming session about what this is going to be, and then maybe
Exactly.
whatever. Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
everything about how we were talking a lot about art and artists and creativity, and how sometimes those don't get lumped in with business owner or making money or hobby, like what all that means. So I'm excited to dive into that for my own selfish reasons.
Well, and I think, I don't know about you, but I think that they seem like they're in two different buckets, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could be
Mm-hmm.
an artist and a creator, but then you got to get real and have your business.
You have to have your, yeah.
I feel like there's so much friction, inner friction, and then there's so much noise out in the world about what you should do or how you should do it, that then to me, I see so many beautiful creators kind of falling around. I mean, I've done it too in those spaces because you're trying to figure out, and that's the thing, you're trying to figure out the thing instead of like, "Ooh, come back in. It's what do I know? What do I really feel is the best next step for
Yeah,
my work in the world, how I want to do things?"
there. We're already halfway through this madness. Should we take a pause and talk about the it's not a meditation that you sent today.
I didn't send a
Tell
meditation.
tell everybody what we're about to witness.
Okay. So I very quietly last year started a Substack because when I turned 50, it was like I had a little knock on my soul that said, okay, all my life I've been telling people I'm a writer. I'm a writer, 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 writer. I've been writer adjacent. I started in as a English teacher, right? So I'm helping other people write and develop their own love of the word and those things. Then I went into coaching, which is a beautiful exploration of again what really makes humans tick and all the things behind the scenes. And something happened a couple years ago where it was like, okay, now it was like the knock was like, this is it. It is time for you to take everything that you've gone through, pull it together in interesting ways and put it out there in writing. So I started this very quiet Substack that I was like, I'm just going to practice and play around with. And then I don't know, a month, 2 months, a couple months ago, was like, okay, girlfriend, it is time to get realer. Stop hiding a little bit. And I'm not a shy person, but again, when I think whenever we're crossing over into a bigger, expansive, more visible view of ourselves, it's uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And so anyway, I decided that I was like, okay, I'm going to step. I'm going to be scared. I'm going to step and do the thing. So I also kind of got tripped up. Well, a lot of people are doing a lot of different kinds of things on Substack, on wherever you go. And I had to come back in and be like, Stace, you love to tell little snippets of wisdom, stories, that kind of thing. Let it be your own. So I've been publishing them probably once or twice a week. And I just started in the last maybe 4 weeks doing audio with it too, because people love. Rich, you were the first person I think that said to me, Stace, you could read the phone book, and I am down for that meditation.
And she ran with it. She took that
I did.
compliment.
I did. I went with that and I was like, okay, that's all the permission I need
Hmm.
on this planet. And I'm sure if you're listening, there's people say something back to you about something and you're like, wait, what? That's how I am half the time. I'm like, oh, this is something people want. And so then to respond to that. So anyway, you're going to listen to a piece I think I published a week or two ago called You're Doing It Wrong because, again, I think this feels so timely around art and business and lifing because we're all getting messages constantly that we're messing up our own lives.
There you go. Take a listen to You're Doing It Wrong.
You're doing it wrong, they said, when they couldn't explain how I could read minds and energy when I was 5. They told me my gifts weren't real. When they put me on a diet at 8 years old,
Because you don't know how to take care of your body. My little self heard, you are bad to your body. You are hurting you. You are not to be trusted. When they rewarded weight loss, straight A's, and obedience, and when I challenged all three, they sent me to my room. When I desperately wanted to escape my childhood, they used money and fear to keep me tethered to their abusive, toxic systems. When I was kind and supportive at work, they threatened to fire me for being too happy. True story. When I secretly got married a second time on my terms, they called me a liar and sent me hate mail. Here's the thing, the they isn't one person. It's the belief system that there's a right and wrong way to live our lives. I've pushed against this belief most of my life until I remember, and keep remembering, that my way is the way, and that perfection isn't the end destination. I flourish when I trust my own inner guidance system to help me create my life. I thrive when I come back to love over and over again. Because love isn't a binary system, it makes space for the messy, the sidesteps, and the ahas when we crack the matrix. I spent much of the last decade of my life witnessing the beliefs that I carried as a result of these I'm doing myself wrong and somewhere out there knows better mantras. Witnessing first. You can't see what you don't see. Feeling next. Dark nights of the soul, tongue lashes, and dirty tears. I discovered that if I tried to think my way through this part, I'd land back in the pit of my own wrongness, a house of mirrors without an exit. Curiosity with compassion followed, the noticing of the notice with a more neutral and loving lens. It sounds like, that's interesting I did that, thought that, feel that. What does love say? I eventually came to one single question. What else could be true that feels like peace in my body and my mind? Because years ago, somebody reminded me that the truth may sting, but it doesn't cause us to endlessly loop around in a wheel of thought chaos. And side note, how do we know if we're stuck in the loop? For me, it's usually a desperate attempt to fix something with a dose of judging the shit out of myself and feeling a shame blanket suffocate every other thought and feeling. You carry your own soul process within you too. It may look a little like mine or not. My way isn't your way. It's permission to get quiet enough, curious enough, and sometimes mad as fuck enough to look closely, to uncensor the feels, and to land back in your body with a truth that is in service of what really matters to you and not the world at large. Love, that's what you're here to do. Be your path.
Can you follow me around with that?
I'm not busy.
You
I'm
are
not
busy.
busy. Those are all available on Stacey's Substack.
Say that 5 times.
Yeah, seriously. There you go.
There you go. Do we have a clip of a podcast? Like, if we don't do it this time, we're going to have to do it next time because I feel like there's so many things that you're doing out there in the podcast world that we need to know that as well, too. Because I think also, too, people get so nervous, but that's what I love about you, too, Rich, is that this idea of how do we do these things and especially when we want to do them, how do we do them in a way that is easier, feels better? And that's where, I mean, does anybody need a life coach? No. Does anybody need somebody out there? No. But we all have superpowers that then we can share to help each other. This is the world building piece to me, right? Where we build a different world because we're sharing our gifts with each other rather than leveraging them.
Mic drop. If I could drop this, I would.
If you could throw it at me and be like,
Yeah.
Stace, wake up.
I'm gonna get a prop one next time just to throw at the camera.
Exactly. I'll be like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and I think also like I think in the world of I'm a solopreneur, there's so much alone and there's so
Mm-hmm.
much building alone
Mm-hmm.
and you feel like you are the one that has to do it or you're the only one that can do it or you're the only one that knows how to do it and
Mm-hmm.
letting go. Like I literally before this because you were posting about us doing this and I was like oh,
Mm-hmm.
shit. Oh, also we're gonna probably swear a lot during this. Sorry.
Oh, not sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. We could do a when we
We should.
swear we could do that. I'll try to cover it up. No, I won't. That'll be too much.
Yeah.
See, now what was I saying?
Oh God,
Oh,
in your way.
you were posting about us doing
Mm-hmm.
this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, at first, when we were talking about this, I was like, just share the document with me and I will post about it and then
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And today, when I got the 13th notification that you had posted about it, I was like, you know what? I have resources to have someone help me on social media. And so that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
That's my like hand that off.
Yes.
Stop pretending that you can do it or you're going to do it. You have the ability to do it. And so that's my goal now is to get that person in all the logins that they need. And
Mm-hmm.
so I can
Mm-hmm.
be promoting our July live stream. And it's, like, and then I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about it.
Well, that feels like a question that people in business have been asking themselves, or maybe they haven't been asking themselves, but this idea of just because I can do it, should I be doing it? And when you're working in your business, which so many of us, right? You think about accounting, you think about all the other little things that we're all doing. It takes a certain, well, a different kind of energy, in my opinion, but it also takes from the energy of the thing that you're trying to create and build and what have you. And so, yeah, how do we kind of interconnect and collaborate and work in ways that we all get to do? Like when you meet an accountant who loves to work with numbers and receipts and all the things, and you're like, here, let me make your day
Yeah.
wonderful because
Yeah.
this does not make my day one.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. And I mean, I make tons of content every day. There's content up the wazoo around here. But that step of like, okay, well now one, it's that well, this is a Stacey business coaching thing that we'll get into in a different episode, but like what is stopping me from talking about myself, which we've already talked about, right? Like I have to put that out there. And it is time. It's like scheduling all that out. So doing that, and then I go, well, I mean, I have it all. So what? It's not that hard to just throw it out there, but it clearly is. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. So I think, tell me what you think about this, because
Yeah.
we have not, this is totally unscripted.
Sorry.
Okay, at the end, I think, and maybe we do this today and then maybe we don't do it in the future, but I like what is something right now that you are kind of grappling with a little bit? And what are you and, like again, we don't need to have like it all figured out, but maybe something we're each kind of like chewing on in our
Mm,
heart right now. Let's talk just today about art that, again, we don't have clarity yet about, but we're just something because I think as we pull back some of the veil and really say, hey, like this is what it's not as exciting probably as what some people think.
yeah. Yes. And I think it's so relatable. Yes. So my thing that would be, and maybe we do it like by next time so we can talk about it. What that feels like. Like I want to talk about what it feels like to give up that control and to have that crossed off my list.
Okay.
Because I can already tell what it's going to be like. I just have been saying I need to do it, and now I can.
Yeah, I love that. For me, I think as you know, I've been writing my face off, and I have a nonfiction book that wants to come through me. Well, actually, already is partially out, and my memoir. And I think I need to just at this point sit and do the next step, which is weaving these stories into a manuscript form. And I dance around, I'll write another piece, I'll look at something. And I think I'm at the place where I don't like to push myself over a ledge anymore. Like like be mean to get myself to do it, but there's also this like again this line or this space where you know you're dancing around the thing. Like how do you let yourself go into it? Because usually my mind says, oh, this is going to be hard, and it's going to take forever, right? And I can't give up the reins and all of the things that come up, and it's usually 20 million times easier, and I'm like, oh, why didn't I just
Yeah. Yes.
why didn't I just do that 3
Uh-huh.
weeks ago? So that's kind of where I am with some stuff. And it's summer too. So like, you know, it's kind of like sometimes at night it's like, oh, I just want to have fun and be in the energy of summer, and I don't necessarily want to be sitting at a computer. I want to be frolicking out in my neighborhood.
And she literally
live
means
nearby.
that. Yes, you will see Stacey frolicking.
This is true.
Yeah. We're out of time.
Woo! Yep.
Next month, we don't know the date yet. We probably should have figured that out before
We
we go
probably
on here to
should have.
tell you. But we'll Stacey will tell you, and my new social media person will tell you when that is. I have 2 topics down, so I'm curious.
Okay.
What you and then the people watching, what they would want to talk about.
Yeah, let's throw them out there. Let's
Vows,
see.
business vows.
Business vows. Yeah.
I wanna
Going
talk
to the
about-
chapel of your own soul of your business.
Yes. And now I have 3. The hustle side gig culture, which I think is so I want to
Yeah.
talk about the wording around that and the
Okay,
psychology
yeah.
around that. And psychology, like I'm some sort of dog.
Yes. Yes.
And because I think we've all been fucked with. And now I want to talk about something like does the coach need a coach? You know, like you were talking about your around writing the book, and you help people do exactly what you're struggling with. So I want to talk about that. So
Okay.
those would be my 3.
These are
Others-
juicy. I'm ready.
Right?
I can't wait to listen to see what gets said.
And we probably won't talk about any of it. That's awesome. Okay.
Well,
before
we
go-
want to hear from you, so please
Yes,
weigh
please.
in if there's a topic. Rich and I have been in business now for over a decade doing all of this, and we want to be open and
Mm-hmm.
talk about stuff that maybe in a different way that isn't quite being said out there.
Can we do a quick before we're already over? Of course.
Okay.
I created a little rapid fire
Okay.
game. Ready?
I love this.
So I am gonna do. You're gonna finish it with one word,
Okay.
and it's as quick as possible. Ready?
Okay.
Number
Yep.
1. My creative process in one word is
Messy.
the biggest business trap is
Overthinking.
the feeling of a project flopping is
Ooh, failure.
a vow that keeps people stuck is
Doing it a certain way.
a vow that moves you forward is
Doing it your own way.
the best ideas are born in
Ordinary moments.
social media is mostly
Noise.
my current energy level is
Moderate.
when this is the last one, when nobody is performing, we are
Creating.
there you go. Goodbye everyone. We'll see you
Love
next month.
you. Love. Bye.